Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. My name is Catmonic, and once again, we're back with Yugioh Master Duel. We're back with the Masochist challenge. But I'm not certain that I'm really, eager to climb the ladder today. It's the last day of the month. We would have to win at least 20 duels. And if we're on a good stream, we can maybe get through 20 duels total. But that's not 20 wins in a stream. And so, consent for Millennium Selection. I don't think I need it on this account, but I think I might actually do that on my main. Because I believe it gets you things that you haven't got already. Sure. What do you randomly select for me? I think the only thing I would care about this is the Stardust one, but unfortunately this is the, this is the Masochist account, so comes with packs, can't do it. But yeah, I think it's possibly time for a little bit of deck building, because we've pretty much got, in terms of viable decks, I feel like it's these two, right? We've got this one, which has potential, is the simplest way of, saying such. But, we don't really have, much to do with it. Yeah, I guess they would be used in the same deck, but we don't have a Zeus, so there's not much point. New feature, they've added cards in the related cards that are not necessarily archetypal, but are used in the same deck frequently, and in this case, yeah, it'll be those two. But, I'm so torn on this. We have cards that are good for this. The theory behind the deck is not terrible. The actual practice behind the deck is pretty bad so far. Yeah, acknowledging that Danger Dark Orb is probably what's getting done. Just curious, do any of them come up with anything different? It doesn't look like it. Nope. No. I'll have to play around with that from time to time and just see what kind of cards pop up. But, yeah, we have things, it's just... it doesn't feel so good. I gotta definitely edit this down and just drop it to something that's a little bit closer to 40 because it's too inconsistent, it just doesn't feel like it works. Discard changes, we don't need to swap the one Pearly. And that was kind of what this was supposed to be, but it still feels like I'm just drawing, mismatched hands for whatever I'm doing, It gives me, 2 or 3 normal summons in a hand, it gives me, 1 Kaiju, but then I don't actually have a proper way to remove it, or I don't have anything to put up on my side of the field to contest it. It's not got a terrible win rate compared to some of the other decks that we've played. But it could just be, so much better. And then there's Cosmopunk, which I don't really know where to start with cutting this deck down. In theory, you just drop the Go Second cards and make it a Going First deck. Which begs the question, what does Cosmo do going first? Because I feel like you're trying to get into maybe Dark Lady with the Dark Destroyer in hand. It feels like Cosmo is a lot better as a Go Second deck, which means, well, maybe do I cut the trap cards? Should I cut the Inspector border? Should we just play... maybe that's it. Maybe we just play Cosmo, but going second. It's an idea. I mean, we know this deck's here anyway. It allows us to cut out the punks, right? Would we keep the field spell even? Probably, actually. Probably would. Because this likes to pay life, this wants to pay life, this wants to pay life. The rest of the ones that we have in the extra don't really, but those ones do. And Strawman can... yeah, Strawman can screw with it. You know, maybe we just change this to a going second list. But yeah, it feels like we don't have much. I feel like I can just bin this, right? We've got the going second deck that we use. The only thing to keep in mind is we have like a small Makanko package. And yeah, this shows up in the related cards for Makanko, because of course it does. But yeah, what else did we get? We got Hooli. Chronoc can't target Makankos. You can add a Makanko trap from your deck to your hand. Special summon a Makanko from your hand or deck, then equip it. If you control a Makanko, target one, equip it from spell from deck. Doesn't feel great. What do you do? If monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, you can target one monster you control, one monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand. That's not bad. We could probably do something a bit more with Makanko side of things, but yeah, like, I think we just scrap the goes second, like this goes second deck specifically. Turn 2 or bust feels like it has a better win rate. It has an overall better playstyle of just like, I'm gonna simplify the board state, you know? I know we're not playing Inspector Border in this, which would simplify a board state. Well, no, not all the time it wouldn't. But I feel that this is, I don't know, it just feels the best I've got at the moment. I'm not particularly articulate at the moment for some reason. Alright, so yeah, let's look at it one last time before it bites the dust. It is a messy pile of shit, and we're probably going to be playing elements from it, aspects of it, in different decks over time. I think we'll bring back the Makanko portion of it, definitely. And we'll probably be bringing back the things that are just like, you know, simple beat stick or simple ways to get over things. We might bring back Origami Goddess, but it hasn't really done a lot for us. Alright, clear that one. Stun, which can always be updated with new and interesting text like our Vanity's Fiend. We've got 1 and 1, which is all you're allowed. And we've put in all the Bestials we have. We've put in all the Kaijus we have. 3 of the field spell. We haven't put in the 3rd copy of this, but I'm not sure we need to. What we could do is put in Compulse. Yep. And there's probably other floodgates that I own that I could put in this. What if I put in Drain? It gives me more Mind Drain, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But in the context of Stun, I'm not sure how good it is compared to, like, spot removal. It's difficult to work out, I'll say that. And yeah, we're way past the point of using like Skuld's Oracle. Got 2 of that. We've got a 2nd Cosmic we could put in this. We could be playing 60 cards stun. Doesn't that sound great? Doesn't it sound consistent? We got Punishment, but no real... We got like 2 guys we're bidding from the extra for it. Due to our relatively low monster count, I guess that's why we had Wonky in here. I'm rediscovering a deck. I'm rediscovering questionable choices, you know? I feel like that's an adequate descriptor of this. We're playing that. Yep. No, that won't do it. Magist. Okay, so yeah, we don't have Majesty's Fiend. We have Vanity's Fiend, and I doubt we have Vanity's Ruler. Not that yeah. Yeah, okay. Just double checking. I don't know that updating the stun list is exactly what I want to do and be like, oh yeah, look at this cool deck I've got. But it might be something we just have to run back to at some point, just for sake of being tired. So we need Tyrant Wing for that, which we don't have. Wait, we have Crush Card Virus? We have Crush Card Virus, apparently. No, that's not what I meant. Great that it's only in the Legacy pack as well. And the Ring of Destructions we have, those are illegitimately obtained, so we can't play those. If we are playing Stun, I mean, the best thing to probably do is just look at trap cards. Particularly continuous traps, but probably just traps in general. Like, we have Anguish Pattern, which actually loses to Stun itself. We have Apophis. There you go, Stun deck complete, surely. I don't know. Put in the third Dynamicious. There you go. We have updated the stun list. Is it as bad as the day we left it? Probably. This needs loads more work. This... maybe we do just turn it into a go in second deck. We can add this, we can drop the 2 punks, we can put in another one of those, we can put in another one of these. We've got the 1 Destrudo, what do we... Alpha, Dark Ruler, 2 of that, the Kaiju, no, not the Kaiju, it's the Kashtira is the field spell. There we are. We don't really want to put this one in. Actually, yeah, I don't think that's worth it. We've got a couple 7s, but then it immediately jumps to 8s. Tribute a Punk Special Zone. This. Okay, right, so we don't need that one anymore either. Good thing to catch these small things you might miss out on. If we're going second with Cosmo Punk, Inspect Border is probably not going to cut it. Another Bookamoon might, but we already have like Bookamoon in the main in a different way. I guess we keep this one. That seems good. Oh yeah, we've got a Raigeki and a Monster Reborn. So definitely chuck both of those in. I don't know why I just typed in Monster for Monster Reborn. That is peak idiocy. There we go. Monster Reborn. What else could we do? We've got enough legitimate copies of this we could use it, but I'm not sure that's going to cut it. We have a small Unchained package, but does that really work with Cosmo? These are... no, it's the higher ones. If destroyed by battle or card effect. Which doesn't really feel worth it, because it's... yeah. No, it just doesn't quite feel worth it. Do we have other cards that work with, like, Machine or Psychic? Probably not. Probably nothing particularly new. This only works for the extra deck in our deck. We've got a few Infinitracks. Oh yeah, I guess that was something I was thinking about, maybe trying out, like, Cyber Dynamis, maybe, as an idea. Which feels pretty weird to say, so probably like a horrendous choice, but I don't know, it could do something. Special summon a level 4 lower machine from your hand. Most of our level 4 lowers are actually Psychic rather than Machine. So that's what we need on the lower end of things. And that's got the same effect. But we do actually have gold and silver gadgets, so they form like a little resource loop? Not really a resource loop. Target machine, equip a machine. Nope, model control level 7 or higher. Cannot target level 6 or lower. We have Grenell. This is technically a field spell that works with Dark Destroyer. Just once per turn protection for it isn't too bad. And it'll get the tokens as well, won't it? What do we have now related to Cosmo cards? We have Landwalker. You could destroy another Cosmo. Alright, we have rank 6s we could put into this. We are not really summoning Savage Dragon. Yeah, we got to adjust the extra deck as well. I think this was long overdue an update. Send a Cosmo from your deck, then target one that loses attack equal to the level. Does that really do anything for us? I don't think it does. Target a Psychic. Yeah, no, it's getting back from the grave, which is not where we want them in the first place. So yeah, I think the question is, like, Landwalker, this and this. Because everything else that we want to play max copies of, we kind of are. Like, we could be playing 3 of this, but I don't think that's great. And that requires that we get into the game a little bit to begin with. So we don't want to see it as often, but it's a good tool to have. Especially considering that these guys just, like, fetch something from deck. In fact, we have plenty of normal summons, but is it too many? Probably. What else could we get? That also did scroll up a wee bit, so I was somewhere down here, or something like that. Heavy Metal Raiders, that was what I was thinking of, which, you know, I think that's probably worth including. Like, 2 of our tougher monsters to out just get significantly tougher the instant that that's on the field, unless they just go for that. But then they're using a destruction on that field spell instead of, like, you know, cards I control, right? In fact, you know what? I can get behind something like that. I feel like, you know, it's reasonable, right? There would need to be a way to put that on the field, which we just don't have. We obtained that legitimately, but it requires machines to summon, and that is the bottom of our pile. How many machines do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's like Therian is exactly ideal. That's an 8, 9, 10. We're not really making links before making Savage. Are we realistically using you? What scenario do we make you? 2 and a 3, 1 and a 4. Which then makes it a 3100 beat stick, or just allows us to the Synchro 7 with slightly different levels. Which is good utility. If we're going second, this is not bad. We are playing how many level 6s? We are playing 6 6s. Can't make any of the extra, but maybe it is worth just dropping a rank 6 in this. I feel like it probably is. Alright, we've looked at the machine stuffs. Time Engine might be like the one Metal Morph card worth playing. During your main phase you can set a Metal Morph. Right, no, I need like one of the... reveal this card. Add a card that mentions. Do you mention? You don't mention Max. Unfortunately. Trigger one monster that mentions. So yeah, it's like the smallest of engines that's not worth playing. the Rescue Ace engine is way too small to really be considered. Type a machine monster on the field, which includes the opponent's monsters. This is kind of like how the deck grows, though. This is like, I see this neat tech. Oh, but if I have this neat tech, then, like, you know, that's pretty cool too. And why stop there? It just feels like it kind of goes on from that. When you control a token, if sent to grave, banish this, normal summon. Which is pretty good for Mecha Phantom Beast. Probably not for what we're doing. Right. Yeah, okay, so I have looked at Dark Machines thoroughly enough, I believe. Yeah, let's get ourselves a rank 6 to chuck in the extra. I believe we use... Oh yeah, we're using Wallow. Yeah, because we have Sumo Dice gains, but it's not really a win condition. We have other things with higher attack, but this is good disruption, and isn't too difficult to make. It is just 2+6s. A lot of the others are like hard to, or like specific type attributes, not particularly good removal, you know. This, that, the other. So... it is targeting banishment. Probably not the best. But is there something in the extra we aren't using? If synchro target destroy, and it attack protects. So I'm kind of happy with the extra deck. Actually, yeah, there's going to be times where we probably want the banish. Right, and let's try searching up Psychic. See if anything pops up of interest. We have Ciphering Driver. We don't have like E-Telly or anything. Oh yeah, this is removal, isn't it? Send then gain. It's all the effect. Because it's all effect and not cost, it works under something like macro. It doesn't target. It is a hard once per turn. They gain life, but that doesn't feel too bad. Yugioh, who will be special summonable a majority of the time. Oh wait, no, they banish, right? Yeah, no, he won't be summonable a majority of the time, right? The stuff that is going to be in the graveyard is going to be machine, it's just not going to happen often. Can't attack directly, which is not too much of a restriction. We're going to have to cut it down from this kind of size, but for the moment I want to just sort of... I want to experiment, I want to see what we were doing. What were we doing in turn 2 or bust? Did we get anything particularly cool? Ooh, yeah, we got Sinful Spoils. We also got Soul Exchange, which is a bonus normal summon. Arc Nemesis Eschatos. Graveyard and or face-up field. And then there's, of course, Armageddon Knight for synchro plays, but I think we've got enough normal summons in Cosmopunk. But still, the Sinful Spoils should definitely be in there. It's targeting removal, but it is so worth it. I immediately forgot, like, the other card that I was thinking of. One sec. There's, of course, the Dragon, which is a 7. Yeah, this one. Spell card Soul Exchange. We're running very few actual normal summons in this. And in this one we're running a good chunk of normal summons, but we're running about as many non. I've immediately forgot what it was. Forgotten the name. But we didn't get it that long ago, did we? There we go. Spell card Soul Exchange. Alright, the question is, I probably do need to cut this deck down, and in what way do I do so? Alpha and the Cashiers are just... well, there's an amount of this deck which is just staples. And I guess, technically we have better options than this. So I could cut that. We're playing four field spells, but this one is a rotor, this one is for the end board. This one helps us... it's extension. It's good, it's draw power, but I don't think it's what we need. We need kind of like stuff that's powerful out the gate. Like, we normal summon this and they probably need to respond to it, because if they don't negate it in some way, it's just, you know, basically, it summons 2, right? This one card is a Link 2, and a Link 2 is absolutely anything in this game. Or it's like a rank pretty much anything, if you can find the right levels, you know. This is an instant rank 1 through 12, or, you know, an instant Link 2. Maybe a Synchro monster. Who knows? Depends on what's summoned. We've got... so that's 6, 10, 17 tribute summons, compared to 14 normal summons. We're going second, and if we see one of our 14 normal summonables, that one is just going to the graveyard immediately, and so does not count. The 2 Cosmic is good. The 2 Twin Book of Moon, I'm tempted to just play actual Book of Moon. Because we do have one, it doesn't require a discard. It gives us 2 different ones. Of course, the main issue is that, like, Book of Moon doesn't negate effects, it protects effects most of the time. I think there's probably a small subset of things that Book of Moon does actually negate, but I don't know what they are. Pardon me. And yeah, we don't really want to add Armageddon Knight to this. That's a summon from hand. If sent to the graveyard, you can add... oh wait, oh no. Okay, I've got to do it. It's technically searchable now, you know. How many times will my opponent let me just flip a coin? How many times will I curse that this is the only normal summon in my hand? Who knows? Maybe this is one I'm missing. Some whimsy with my deck building, you know? Some just kind of putting cards in for the sake of it again. Because it has been some time. So maybe this is the Cosmopunk reversion. Not 50 cards, 46, which is on the better side of what I do, right? Oh, Mr. M Gaming. Yeah, the generator deck is 47. Turn 2 is also 47. How's the work in progress? That's also... why do I just seem to hit 47 cards? Why is it 47? And do I break from tradition? I think I do. Just to have something different. Let's change the accessories on this. I'm kind of happy with this as it is. Ships. Also ships. Field parts. Yeah. Rescue Rabbit can have his little pedestal. I still think it's Rescue Rabbit. Change the 3 main. So the first one is Cosmo. The second one... we need to illustrate going second as a staple, which I believe is probably just Dark Ruler. And... I don't know. Wraithoth. That's good enough. Although I think we should probably put it so it's more like that. That's looking better. Yeah. I like that. Okay, we have another deck, I guess. And it's now time to try and remember what other things we have. Oh wait, hold on. Is unusable cards up to date? I've got no idea if this is up to date. Like, the last Royal Rares I had should be in here. Like, this one's in here, good. That one... Oh, that one's legit. Those two are in there. I think everything else that cannot be dismantled is already present in something. Have I asked how you're doing, Mr. M Gaming? I hope you're doing well. It's nice to have someone join in on the stream. Right. Okay. Let's... New thing. Cyber Dragon. And let's find actual Cyber Dragon, who is a 3-of. Definitely put in. Can you make these gels? Wow. Feel free, go ahead. Try your best. I'm sure you can, but, like, you know. Go for it. Normal summon to add a cyber. Oh wait, I have Machine Dupe, don't I? If I go to the related cards to you, does Machine Dupe pop up? That it does. It's a very nice feature, this little kind of like related but not archetypal. I guess I should put this in, because I think I can make it with this. You have a Typhon? That's kind of crazy. Actually, wait, is it going to be easier banishing materials on it from your graveyard? How do you... And or your face-up banished cards. I think we do 1-1. But yeah, Typhon for Masochist, that is a little nuts. Target Cyber Dragon special, quick effect, banish a Cyber Dragon. Until the end of the turn, damn. Although it does cheat out a fusion monster. You definitely go in. The question is, what are the cyber spell traps? Handle Grave, Power Bond, I don't like machine, target like machine. How has Typhon been helping you out? Is it good? Is it nice to have? I mean, surely it's gotta be nice to have. As much as everyone jokes it's like the surrender button, like, it's crazy. Yeah, we gotta put that in as a one-off. Field, you can banish like machine. This card is sent from the field to the grave. Okay. What else do we have? It is nice to have, that's good. That is just removal. Does mean we have to control Cyber Dragon though, so that's that. This is also just Cyber Dragon. It's Toon Cyber Dragon. Which means it isn't actually Cyber Dragon. What else do we have? We have Nashta. If this card is done with special summon, type 1. Okay. If this card is special summoned, if this card is sent to the grave. That makes Anima. And they are also limiter removal. Not limit removal. Machine dupe targets. What do you do? Right, you're Cyber Dark support, which we don't think we have the stuff for Cyber Dark. But we have stuff for Cyber Dragon, you know? And that might just be enough. I was going to say Dino Mist. Dynamis can pen 5. We have Rotor. 1, 2. 1, 2. What levels? 4, 5. Oh, right, they have mixed levels, aren't they? If tributed, you can add a from your extract to your hand, which is not too bad. And it's just a pen scale 6 otherwise. We want the Spinos in there. Terran? Oh wait, yeah, do we have anything? Nah, not really, it's pretty much this. Which means it's like, it's kind of just pen scales. Like, really slow pen scales. 3, 6. Right, and 6 and 3. That's a 5. You're a 4, you're a 4, you're a 5, you're a 4. So, actually... Right, that's the monster effect. We do want it for the monster effect. Okay, so we need another 3 anyway. That's probably not showing anything by battle, right? 3, 6. 3, 6. Oh wait, no, okay, I only have 2. What about... where is it? Clockwork Knight? I have Clockwork Knight. 1, 2, 3. Therian. Regulus. Oh wait, hold on. We have a small Therian package. Send a Therian. If in grave, you can target Therian in your grave, both still in grave, add it to your hand, or... Right, you can target Therian or a plant, you can summon a card from your hand or field, so we need a way to get it on the field. Banish the swing. No. Target Therian in your grave. Right, the main issue is that we basically have Regulus. And only Regulus. Would anything else be live? Depends on what we put in the deck. As always, right? Dragons. Sea Serpent. Machine again. Worm. Do we use warriors? Not really. I'm trying to think about what other cards we use. Do we use Aquas? Oh wait, is it an Aqua or is it a Sea Serpent? Well, that was apparently enough. I didn't think it would be. It's a Sea Serpent. But we should still put it in there. Which reminds me, Anima. Because that can be used to link off something. This guy. If sent to the grave, yeah. Basically just makes Anima. What else can we think of? This is a Ghost second deck. It's Ghost second OTK, so we don't want Dark Ruler. We want Raigeki. We want Monster Reborn. Again, why did I type in only Monster? One sec. There we go. We'll learn to spell at some point. Haggard is just a good link to. We actually need zones as well. So let me look at my links for a sec. They have a thing for, like, the arrows. Oh, that's only showing, like, link 3s and higher. Well. What does that show? It shows Traffic Ghosts, which I believe we got from the Legacy pack. Like, we pulled one. Yeah. Yeah, we've definitely pulled one. And it's a Link 3 where everything else is pretty much a Link 4. That's specifically summoned from extra heroes, wrestlers, mech knights. 3 monsters with different names, and this is just 3 monsters. It's just 3 guys. I'm still probably going to put in, like, Chaos Mirage, right? Because now I can Pendulum Summon it. I only even play a second one, so I stop breaking on them. It can retrieve Sidra. Don't think I have 9 synchros, and even if I do, I'm pretty sure 9 synchros like tend to require like multiple monsters. Destrudo. Assault. Synchron. Somewhere down there. That's just, it feels close, but it's just not quite. It's more bricks. Right, so let's go for our synchro pool. We want Yazzie. And there's Dragon. Super heavy. We want at least you. But the rest of you aren't generic with the exception of you. How easy are you to make in this? We got a couple more ones, which will then get sent to the graveyard, added back. So that's neat. We don't really have 4s though. What else are we thinking? Can I even make this? Oh, you just need 1+ non-tuners. Which still means kind of a 9. It means a 9 or a 2. And we have 2s. Cyphering. Zeta. Oh, right, Multami. Can't forget the hand trap. How much can I remember about my own synchro lineup? Stardust? Actually, no, we do just want to look up synchros, right? There is a chance we have 9s. 9s would be very handy. 6s would also be pretty handy in this, such as the Clown Beast Malong? Oh yeah, right, triple attack. You know what, before I forget, I know it's literally in chat there, but right, so what are we looking at? This is a 6. If special summoned, you can increase or decrease level mod. If sent to the graveyard, bounce. Does target, but you can't have everything. It might be you and you. Do I need the rank 5? Don't know. There are probably a good few brick hands here. This doesn't actually do anything. This does add a Dynamist. This needs a Sidra Engrave. That's a brick. Unless we get to things on the field. We're down to 2 overflow. Do we put the Bestials in? How many pensions do we have here? Just want to double check. So we have a 3, which we don't want to summon. 3, 3, and 3, which we... Sorry, we have 3 which we want to summon. 1, 2, 3, 6, and then 1, 2. So we have 3 and 3. Yeah, I could do test hands. I think it's probably worth. Right. So we can send Regulus to the grave. I guess that's another thing that I haven't thought about. It is a 1-1, we're as likely to draw Regulus as we are the Endless Engine. We haven't got... No, we do have an Aqua. Might actually be worth putting that one in. So, Clockwork Knight, plus this... Oh wait, we're going second. Okay, now you see, that makes it a much, much better hand. Because all you need to do is, like, you can Pendulum Scales, I guess. You could Pendulum Summon Sidra. What you realistically do is you activate Clockwork Knight, you summon out the Sidra, then if they pop the Sidra, you reborn, get the Sidra, and you Contact Fuse everything. And then you just kind of, like, you have Pendulum Scales as well, or you have, you know, a monster. And you're going to have decently beefy attack. Next draw being Overload. Then Cyber Repair Plant would be the next live draw. Unless, actually, we probably change around the deck, or... Yeah, right, okay. I am putting in another Therian, though. We're putting in Thum, because we have Aquas. And I don't think there's reason to put in the others. This is good, like it's spot removal. I won't see this for the rest of the duel if I ever activate the second effect. So that's good. Yeah, I don't think... I think that's probably it. Right, so this gets us to... Well, the hand is this plus 2 cards, shall we say. We drop the Mulch Army pretty much immediately. And in this case, you add a... You do this to try and add a Dynamist. But you probably just Synchro 6. I'll take you up on that. You Synchro 6, you have yourself, you know, Earth Monster on your opponent's field. The Dynamist is then added back to the hand, which means you get yourself a, you get yourself Pendulum Scales again. You've got yourself Pendulum Scales, you've got yourself a 6. And I guess you don't know what the next few cards are going to be. Plus 1. So, again, it's kind of Clockwork Knight Sidra. Failing that, I guess it depends on if they get rid of the Clockwork or if they get rid of the Sidra. If they get rid of Sidra, you can do Cyber Repair Plan. And then add a Light Machine from deck to hand. You add a Light Machine from deck to hand, that gets you to... Nashta. I'd say it gets you to Nashta. I'm not quite certain which monster it should. Because it's either Nashta, Core, or Hertz. They all have the stat requirement in this hand of less than 500 attack. And becoming Sidra. I guess this one adds you a Cyber Spell Trap. This isn't a... Oh, this isn't a Cyber Spell Trap. I've got to cut that. It's not searchable. But yeah, that gets you a Cyber Spell Trap, which is either Cyberload, Cybernetic, not Overload. It can get you Cyber Repair Plan, but you can only activate 1 per turn, yeah. You can do that, which is a discard to summon. And what does that do in this scenario? You could put the Dynamist in the grave, so you have a machine for the Therian should you ever draw it. Then, if no more special summoned, you can get this back, and you can E-Telly for the other 2, which still lets you do, like, a rank 5. so we take that one out. And again, the hands are just kind of, if you draw Cyber Dragon plus Clockwork Knight, you know, that's going to clear a few boards if they don't know what it's doing. There are just a couple of people who might lose to that. Oh, we're missing Spell Trap removal in this. Kind of realised. We don't actually have Spell Trap removal in this. Right, those need to be in there. But overall, I like that. I don't think that's too bad for a going second deck. We can put in the Dark Ruler no more, but the obvious issue is that we're trying to dome the opponent. Nah, we don't. Okay, yeah, we just put in Dark Ruler. We want to game the opponent, but we can't. We've got to make do with what we've got. Star Eater isn't worth it for the extra. How many fusion spells do we have? We have 2 fusion spells, and we have 3 targets to bring out from the extra deck. Which feels good, because one of them's just a contact fusion. And it gives us 2 ways to fusion summon into the other one, and then there's the opportunity we also cheat it out with the Cyber Nova. You could really, like... What kind of name is decent for this? Because you could call it Cyber Mist, which is kind of accurate. Or you could call it Dino Dragons, which is completely inaccurate, while being accurate. We'll call it Cyber Mist. We have another deck. Is it a good deck? Possibly not. And are there tools from this one which we would want in that one? Light, dark. That's exclusively it. We have a Malefic. We actually have the target for it. That's kind of neat. So if there's a deck where we want free summon 10s, that's an option, but it does require a field spell. The only other things I might want are like the Psychic Eraser Laser, or the Sinful Spoils, or the Spell Card Soul Exchange, in terms of the spell lineup. In terms of the monster card lineup, we're supposedly very bestial accurate, or got a lot of bestials, access to them, because a good chunk of this deck is light. It doesn't really do anything for us if we actually start to banish them, because our recursion for that is exactly Cyberload Fusion. Banished Cyber. Just needs to be sent from the field to the grave. It doesn't actually need to be activated. How would we get it off the field ourselves? I don't know that we do. We can banish it ourselves, but I'm not sure we can destroy it. Destroy this card instead, yeah. They do cost replacement, but not the way that we want them to cost replacement. You mentioned banished cyber dragons. Why do you mention banished cyber dragons? No, if this card is banished, right. Cards on the field and or banished cards. Whereas that one actually works with graveyard. But that one only summons this. That makes more sense to me. Slightly more consistent if we do want to make it. Okay, so we get one Dynamist. We can do Yazi, which is a little pricey. But it does add us a Cyber Dragon. And... oh wait, hold on. Our Gyro System. Which means we can get a Therian out of this as well. I don't mind the theory for this. The theory seems okay. I think in practice it's probably going to be a little weak. But it doesn't seem too bad. Of course, we could use Double Cyclone to destroy the cards we want to destroy. But we only have the one of that one anyway, so I'm not sure that's worth it. Double Cyclone could be worth it for like a Fiendish deck, where we slap in the Unchained package that we have. Unchained Paleo Mess, maybe? I don't know. A lot to think about. So many options. I want my deck to be like 5,000 cards big, so I have all the tech cards I ever need. I'm happy with that. Am I happy with the accessories? Probably not. 3 main cards. The first one obviously has to be Cyber. Might as well make it the shiny. The second one needs to be a Dynamist of some cards. Let's make it Charge. And the third one... I guess the third bit in here is the Therian stuff. Let's put it as just like Regulus. I feel good. Coin, fine. Fine. I do have the car, but like, there's no point. Rescue Rabbit's the best. And we're running out of sleeves types. I guess it's just regular. That's close enough. Are there any other decks I can think of, or that I can think I've been trying to wrap my head around? We don't have the cards, right? Like, even if I put in the good stuff, we'll just start there. Right, okay, so that's the extra deck good stuff. We'll probably put in 2 each, so we have Pendulums, 2 of that, 3 of this, 1 of those, because we only have the 1. We don't really use the full 3. 1, 2. 1 of that, because we only have the 1. 1 of. 1 of. 1 of. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 of. 1 of. 1 of. 2 of, maybe. 1 of. And that is our current Super Heavy Samurai deck, which is 33 cards and doesn't do anything. Because you need so much more. Right. Scrap that. how do we do with pacifists, I guess? Right, related cards. So this is, you just put it at 3. We've got the 1 sea stealth, we've got the other kind of sea stealth. 1, 2, we're missing the other equipped spell, but we can do those ones. Kairoshin's Dark Reef. Send Umi. Don't think I will. This becomes Umi? It does become Umi. Water normal. Defense position. Oh wait, yeah, I do just have some... there we go. We have you. We don't have the other legendary fisherman, I don't think. Nope. Okay, go back to the related cards for a second. What else do we have? Electric Jellyfish, Send it Umi, Special. Well, Umi... It is a spell negate. That's attack blocking. This adds... It adds a monster that mentions Umi. So it rotors for those, and then it can special this from the deck. We don't need the extra copies of Umi, but I do think we want to play Metaverse in this. Target zones? Target monsters. Damn. And we don't have the wall. Do we have... We do. How many can we use? Probably none, right? Tutorial of the Legacy Pack. You don't say. Save and return for the moment. Unusables. So they probably aren't in 1, right? Nope, we have 3 unexpected die in 1, which means there is an unexpected die that we can use. Unless my eyes are deceiving me, which they might. Yeah, I think we can use an unexpected die, which is probably not the play still. Do we have Rescue Rabbit? Yeah, we have a Rescue Rabbit. Not fantastic. What else can we do with, like, normal monster? No, that's just looking everything that has normal or monster in it. Alright, Paleo. These guys become normal monsters. We've got 3, we've got 3. You're decent. That's just Pot of Greed. You send? What would we send? I don't know. Unaffected by the monster's effects. Target set card and spell traps. Send. In the spell trap zone. Can I target my opponents then? It does require 2 Paleos specifically. What do we have on the way for, like, Xyz 2? Not a lot. By Gusto, we have Mannequin Cat. Shouts out to Master Saga, right? That's 3 2s. Which is not actually terrible. It's pretty difficult for us to get to. But if we do, it probably does just win us the game. Put the Orochi in, put the Destruder. I know that the field spell doesn't work when we're using effect monsters, but, or rather when we don't control only normals. But I feel like we need other plans, right? What is it? Chaos Mirage Dragon. fact. What do we have that's like worm stuff? Winds. You are just, in fact, a worm. We've got Mare Mare. There's our Yazi. That is just Rota. That's pretty cool. That could give some survivability, maybe. Yugioh Warzone, okay. Any monster sent from the field to the graveyard during your opponent's turn is banished instead. Specifically... Oh, but we also just have Blackout. I don't know how we have Blackout, but we have Blackout. Okay, so this is not the most interesting or unique of deck building choices, but there is potential. We can't really use Inspector Border in this because it will just shut off the deck. What normal monsters do we have? Just actual normal. And we probably want to rank from attack. Yep, that'll do it. Right. So let's drop it down to where we start seeing 4s. We have Megalo. Which is... Oh, wait, do we have Mystery Shell? We don't have Mystery Shell. That's moderately unfortunate. Yeah, it's Rota or a draw. So I feel like we do play it. We could play the Terra King Salmon. We could play Giga Gaga Gigo. Sayaru. We've got a few normal monster options. The actual Kyryu Shin. Shouts out to, you know, old vanilla monsters who are tribute summon with the stats of a normal monster. Just like, you know, 1800 beats. Large in. Tamed Order. Okay, so what about the extra deck? Let's go back to the Synchros. We're gonna need to... We can use Tatsu Necro. Tatsunoko. Necro is the zombie variant. We don't have that much synchro material ourselves. Target a fish and a card you control, you manage fish. Do we have fish? You're an Aqua, you're an Aqua. We do not have fish. So we've got the Arzian. We need to go for our regular big hitters, I think, as always. Belt. Is there a point? Oh yeah, we don't have the Mulchani in this deck. Which is an Aqua. Not a fish. But just, it's an observation, I need to put it in. And... I should probably know the extra deck layout, like, the back of my hand by this point. I should also probably know where the cards are in the list relatively well by this point. Mulchani. Do we want Cosmic? I feel like Yeah, Dionysius is probably better. Do we have Shared Ride or something? Is it something we can use? It is, actually. I mean, we are on a strictly going first deck. The Mulchami is kind of there because reasons? I don't know. I guess that's a... if we're on a go first deck, you play Shared Rider. If you are on a go second deck, you probably don't. I don't feel like there's much logic in playing it in a go second. If this deck does go second, what happens? We probably lose. We've got a couple ways to get out. Big old Phantasm Spiral. But not an unlimited number. In fact, he does just kind of keep coming back from a minute during the battle phase if we can get this online. Which is just in fact regardless of if Umi is on the battlefield, so that's moderately interesting. Link monsters. We have Link Spider, which I don't think we can use either of them, if I remember right. We can... yeah, we can always put Anima in, which we got really early on. Zeraboros feels like a good card to put in. We require effect monsters, so we do need like something to bridge the gap. I feel Haggard is just good. You need, yeah, you need specifically effects. Haggard doesn't need necessarily to have effects. We also don't have that many monsters to banish in the first place. It also clears our field of effect monsters so we can turn on the field spell. Things to think about. Yeah, maybe we want to put 2 in. Sorceress the deck is effects. I feel like everything else we're gonna think about wants effect monsters. Except maybe Miss Starboy, who just wants waters. Gives us a nice stat difference. We've got Xyz 2s, which is probably the only one really worth having. We could do Xyz 4s. We should probably check out our Xyz 4s. It's either that or we change our extra deck win condition. Which is kind of a second turn win condition. Right. Xyz for 4. We've of course got Redoer as an option. That one is not summonable due to typing. You need 3. Or you can discard a spell trap and use a rank 4. For the moment, if I see Redoer, I might do that. Attack position monster your opponent controls whose attack is different from its original attack. Do we have ways to mod their attack? I don't think we do. The only way we could... we've got Haggard, we've got Mr. Boy, we've got Hallucigenia. So it's interesting, but I think it's probably Redoer. Whoops, all stealing. Special summon rank 3 or lower water. Neat, but probably not it. Do we not have anything that mentions like normal monster? Nope, that's a name. How do you search for like normal monster? In card text. Because if I look up normal monster, it just brings up everything under the sun that says normal and monster. I guess let's filter it by spells for the moment. which is not too bad. We don't have all that many. It's technically a rota. Let's see. The unexpected die is kind of an e-telly, but we need to control none. And we are much more likely to get to our normal monsters. I forgot we have that. Is that something we should put in the Gorin's second deck? Maybe. It is just an instant Xyz. Alright, I don't actually think there was much that mentioned normal monsters that we are interested in. So, small win there. That was easy enough to look at. Okay, now for traps. Where it's going to count every paleo. We don't have enough continuous traps to consider a Hoppus. They are summoned from the spell trap zone, which means Anguish pattern isn't really live. Oh right, Primite. How do I forget Primite? All magical hats. I think this is a legacy pack thing, and if it's a legacy pack, yeah, if it's a legacy pack only, I can actually play it. Right, let's take a look at what we have in the way of Primite. We have 2 Scream, and we have 2 Howl. Declare a normal name. You take no damage, that if you control no, you can special summon it. During your opponent's turn, banish. Yeah, seems good. When your opponent normal special summons while you control a normal monster or level 5 or higher Primite, except a token, negate, banish. If you have a Primite, you can set. Right, I'm gonna leave that because it's exactly this. Other than that, we're just using tokens. Normal. What do you do? So, I mentioned Umi or our water monsters. The cat is a normal monster, which can change its type and attribute to be whatever I need, which is nothing. It just becomes a water monster. That's as much as I need from it. Let's see. Icebound God. 2 or more waters, target negate. Cannot attack, also its effects are negated. You know, that it is just a negate. It's kind of Lost Wind, but different. Which reminds me, we don't have like any of our any of our standard staples. Metaverse, that was one of them. Oh right, and we have Pathfinder. If it's a deck that needs the field spell, we've got 5 copies of the field spell in 46, which is not a lot. Umi. This card's name is treated as Umi. I don't think we have like a rota for Umi. Is there a rota for Umi? There is a rota for Umi and we don't have them. Okay. Well, it's good to know, I guess. How many of these are gimmicks? How many of these are we actually keeping? This is a gimmick. We're in a 46 card deck. We don't have that much access to actual spell traps or anything. Actual, If Umi, tile water when your opponent controls. Turn that monster you control, destroy that opponent's, returns to the hand, negate the attack. Which is good. We're not planning on going second. it's not a safe idea to cut the Mulch Army, but I'm trying to think about what else I actually do. It is a rota for a couple of monsters, so I think we leave that in. How many paleos? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It doesn't have to be, it's okay. Do we need the rota for worms? No. You've got Metaverse, so it was there. I just went blind for a sec. So like we're missing so many good cards actually. So if I just go to the Bungus deck, no Floodgates. Crackdown, Lost Wind, Floodgate, Nightmare, Dominus. Although can we use Dominus? I think we can actually. Light, water, light, earth, and wind. We can definitely play the Dominus. The triple attack isn't as necessary in this. Icebound God. How many effects can we activate per turn? You're going to use the second effect once per turn. You can use the first effect as many times as you want, but you still need to get 2 water monsters. Which I'm not quite sure how we're doing. It's probably like Megalo, Field Spell, Megalo. There's something a thing on their turn. Yeah. It's kind of like worse Imperm, but we have just Banishment and Bookamoon instead. Yeah. Let's, I guess it's just Pacifist, right? What would the test hands like? Pacifist plus 2 traps to use with it, no monsters. It's okay. So it's Impulse, you fake with the Blackout. And that's probably it. That's really rough. At a level 7 or lower that mentions Umi or is a water normal, then if Umi is on the field, you can special summon a water. So this one would just be Megalo. You just rota for Megalo. And then you have Destrudo in the grave, or Destrudo to pitch to grave for the Dynamicious, and you have the Phantasm Spiral. And then you might have something on the next turn, who knows. If Umi's on the field, the Sea Stealth 2 does become Umi. And you can just summon this as an attack block. We have 2 Bookamoon. You can do Canadia to change something face down, then you can book something else, summon back to Canadia, and then put Spiral Powers online. And if you do that, destroy that opponent's monster. Damn, Doomkraken doesn't cheese with your own Paleos. Oh, okay, so that's, yeah, Field Spell, get yourself another card. I don't know. Feels iffy. Pacifist just doesn't feel like it's quite as strong. We'll put blue. And we'll just leave it as blue, I guess. Change the 3 main cards. So the first one is Pacifist, always will be. Second one, Canadia. Third one, is it still just something like Destrudo? Possibly. Why not? Actually, no, it needs to be something that represents the fact that it's kind of like Umi stuffs. I guess we have decks. They are new-ish. Some of them, like, you know, they existed beforehand, but they just weren't really cutting it. Guess how's the staples list been? Is that up to date? Probably. I don't know, it feels pretty up to date. Are there any cards I'd cut from here? Probably a lot. I don't know, do you have any ideas for a deck? Mr. M Gaming? Assuming it's still you in chat. It might not be. Could be someone else. Because the only other thing I'm really thinking of at the moment is maybe a Fiend pile. Which, yeah, doesn't seem great. That's like the only other thing I'm thinking of. Like, just like kind of traps, unchained, assorted things. But I guess you put Bestials back in due to your concentration of lights and darks in that. Oh yeah, 7th Tachyon. Not 7th Tachyon, rank up Magic the 7th one. Is there a point in putting that in Cybermist or Cosmopunk? The main issue is that it takes up like extra deck slots. How about turn 2 or bust? How's the extra deck for that? Because like one card isn't going to make a difference in the main deck. Sebek? Moral Sword. Is there any of that extra deck that I'm not using? If it's anything, it's probably the Star Eater. And after that, I think Transverser. It's got like 2 low attack. No, I can do things with Transverser. It probably is Boral Sword. So, yeah, the 7th one. Yeah, we actually have a target for it. Gets us 2800 beats. Are we attack modding in this? Not really. Unless we get the Cashier field spell. Yeah, I think it is just the Cashier field spell in this one. But Cybermist... Cybermist we got a couple ways, but the extra deck also feels a lot more tight. Like, I could drop the rank 5, and I guess I've not got the consistent quantity of Dynamists that Traffic Ghost is technically necessary. You know what? Yeah, let's do it. So we put one of you in. We'll just never draw it for turn, surely. As I said, we'll just never draw it for turn, surely. These feel good. It feels alright. Right. So if I do go to look at the Unchained, so I've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You can target an Unchained, set it to your field, then destroy one card you control. Type 1 card you control, you cannot special summon, destroy, special this. Special summon one from your deck. I think we get that. I think we put those. Yeah, something like that. I think something like that. But that's not really the basis of the deck, is it? Fiend. Which is rather too general a search, but I don't really know how to narrow it down at present. If we do like Fiend Link shenanigans, we might be able to. It doesn't really look like it. We can't really do Azamina things, I don't think. We've got a lovely lab. Azamina? What do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, which requires 1, 1, and 2 Sinful Spoil cards using this. Into the deck. In fact, let's just drop those ones for a sec. One Sinful Spoil card. 3 Sinful Spoil cards. Target 1 card you control, 1 card your opponent controls, destroy them. Still feels pretty valuable, actually. So what do you do with this? If you control a level 5 or higher illusion, guess what do I have in the way of illusion? Probably not a lot. We have Talons of Shurlane. Target Fiend or Illusion, return it to hand if you use special discard. And when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card you control, target 1 card, 1 else your opponent controls, return this to the hand if you do destroy that one. So that's pretty good. Special summon this, counter target with card effects, okay. There's not a lot that mentions illusion, or is in fact illusion. We have you, but how do we put you on the field? Might be worth putting a second one of you in the deck. How do we put another one of you on the field? Draw. We've got hand destruction for draw power. Let's see. I know we've got the Paleos. We've got, of course, we do technically have like the Origami Goddess. We've got that one. Card Trooper. Slower Swallow. So that's for the next turn. Into the Void. UFO Light. Of course, we do have Engage, but I'm pretty sure it's only Engage. We have a oh wait, we have Runic. Oh, I unironically played Jar of Greed. We're playing Paleos. Runic. Field spell. Add a Runic Continuous spell. Do we have a Runic Continuous spell? We have one. What do we have in the way of quick play spells? This is going to turn very stupid very fast, probably. In the way that this will not work as a proper deck. True, an effect monster, target an effect monster your opponent controls, send it special. Okay, spell shattering arrow. You require a level 8 or higher spellcaster. Just does banish card on the field face down. You're level 7. And you're an illusion. Cosmics. Baby quick plays. Baby quick plays. Like the Paleo Runic. But just like really, really bad. If you control an illusion. During your opponent's turn, one opponent's wants to declare some attack or illusion spellcasting. Yeah, that's not particularly worth it. Got Poison of the Old Man. Yeah, we could just try and like stall. One sec. I don't know if we actually have anything for that, but I'm putting it in as a just in case at the moment. We have Psychic Fervor. Like, we're gonna have significant problems dealing damage, so something like Psychic Fervor isn't necessarily the worst. Mass Change. Oh wait, what attribute are you? You're a light. That could work. We can just activate all the quick play spells we want in the world, start banishing cards from the deck. It does rely that we draw a runic spell, singular. And what level are you? You're a 3. Okay. Stormforth. Maybe. Right, let's take a look at fusion monsters we control. Fusion monsters we control. Fusion monsters we can summon off Rapid Trigger. That's what I meant. Destroying fusion materials mentioned on it from your handle field. Mentioned. But I'm pretty sure, like, if it's normal monsters, you can destroy those. Like, if it says normals. The question is, what do I have in the way of fusion monsters? Because I don't think... Like, there's not a point in making this with it. I'll try another swamp. 2+ monsters you control summon from the extra deck. No, we need a decent mass of monsters for that one. I don't think we're going to get them. I don't have something like First of the Dragons. I don't think I do. No, it doesn't look like it. We have Dark Law, which is that one. It needs a dark monster. I guess we... Orochi. Armageddon Knight. Shrewder. Bestial. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chaos. 1, 2. Start looking for synchros. What's the condition on you? A fiend or an illusion. If a Sinful Spoil. we do just have kind of like Book of Moon, but it's a sinful spoil. A little bit further down. Right. Okay, so Yazi first. Star Eater? Probably not. Musashi? Probably not. You. How are we making you? At the moment, I don't think we are. 7, 7, 8, 7, 3. Maybe we aren't playing this one in this deck, huh? Can't use that. What else do we have? We need an 8, which we have frequently delegated to Spark Dragon. Yeah, it's not working for that reason, I think. So, Spark Dragon is somewhere up here. We should probably take that. We could make Herald of the Arclight moderately beefy. Because the... what is it? Is it Moonin? Moonin is a level 3. So we could have a whole, 1400 beat stick. I don't think that's quite worth it, but you never know. Quick Synchro, I don't think that's worth it for anything. I think I'm okay. Oh, Angel of Zera, actually. That just makes sense. Link Monsters. I think we go with E Classics 1. Do we bother with Anima? Probably not. We are on all of 1. There might be a time when it comes in Clutch. Might. So, Haggard, I guess. And do we bother with Geonator? Probably not. I don't see a reason why it's going to be particularly handy. That might. Cheesing alt win cons as best we can. Something like that? I don't know. We're doing quick play spells. Hopefully that's going to do something. Right, we've got runic cards. So, Armageddon Knight, summon, dump Destrudo, target Armageddon Knight, Synchro, and that gives you like Zeta. You can Smiting Storm for Moonin, discard. In that scenario, Book of Moon to add the continuous spell. Yeah. And then you're still left with Freezing Curse for a negate, banish 3, plus 1, banish 4, and a banish for X number of cards plus 1, and then you get to return those to the bottom of the deck, shuffle them into the deck, place them on the bottom of the deck in the order, then draw the same number of cards. Which, I guess there's no guarantee you draw those because you've just dumped a Strudo. Okay, if there's Sinful Spoils, we have Metaverse to get us to Fountain. We can do Lunar Eclipse, discard Smiting Storm, I guess, because it is still... No, you do need to activate the runic, so yeah, discard the Book of Lunar Eclipse. Use that, you get a +1. And if that's the draw, then that's great, because that means that that's then online in the following turns. I feel like there are some very low power hands this deck produces, Can't imagine why I get that feeling. But I just do. Like, that's not actually that bad a hand. It gives you a Bestial for the following turn, plus, like, Cyframe. And it does give you the Runic Field spell, or... no, it gives you the Runic Continuous spell, which isn't worth much. It's a deck. It's a pretty fucking bad deck, but it's a deck. We need to get Sinful Spoil cards in the grave, that works. During either player's battle phase, which works. It's just try and banish the cards. Which I think is awful, honestly. I don't think this works. Oh yeah, we also put in Stormforth with like next to nothing to tribute summon. So, probably drop that. Just put in like double Cyclone, I don't know. What else do we put in? We've got triple attacks, we've got Raigeki, Reborn, so many decent staples. I think Reborn. There you go, another Abomination. There you go, we've made like 4 decks today. I can't think of anything else I'm desperately wanting to make. Not that I was particularly desperate to try and abuse Runic. But it's just like, you know, here are all the neat little things that we have that we can't really use most of the time. Ladder doesn't quite feel forgiving enough to let us just have a goof and faff around with them. I mean, we can do that in gold when we D-rank, but I'm not sure what happens in the meantime, you know? I'm not sure that any of these are cut out for platinum. Cosmopunk could be based on the fact that it's going second deck. Cybermist could be based on the fact it's going second deck. And you do have just like a couple, you know, ways that just win you the game. But going first do just be better. And we do not have the amount of copies we want to of cards like Raigeki and such. I don't know. Feels weird. I should probably, in the 7th Tachyon targets, just edit something as well. If I just put 7th one in there. I don't know what related cards we have for like 7th one things. Like, there are some... Take a card from your deck, either that add it to your hand or place it on top of the deck. I guess we should probably just make a note of what, yeah, 7th stuff we have to pair with it. And does that improve the Cyber Dragon deck any? Take a card from your deck, either a Barion's, add it to your hand or put it on top. And then, if your opponent's monsters, you can banish this card from the graveyard, send. You can only use each effect once, which means you can just do it. But you would need to get this in the like, if you hard draw this, you're still stuck. If you draw this, it's just another way to not draw this. It's not what we're looking at. 7th Force. Yeah, I don't think there's particularly anything worth it. Nope, save that. Just as a quick little edit. partly did this because, like, I feel like we do need to change up the deck every now and then. But also, as I said kind of like at the start of this thing, I don't really feel that climbing the ladder is currently very productive. At least for, like, you know, today, like right now. We're struggling back and forth, winning approximately 1 in 3. A little better than 1 in, 2 and a bit. But that said, it's just, it's a lot of time and a lot of energy, effort, brain power over, a handful of cards. And so I thought it'd be more interesting to actually, like, see if we could do something new, something different. There are a lot of staple cards which transfer over from deck to deck. That's just going to be the nature of it. It's Masochist, but there are slightly different play styles from deck to deck. And so there are different things you can do. And that's hopefully what some of these should accomplish. I don't know. I keep saying I don't know a lot, don't I? I don't really have any plans for the rest of this stream, like, at all. I could try and climb the ladder with some of these, but, I gotta be honest, I'm not entirely hopeful. If I change deck to... What are we thinking? Let's start with the least confident thing. Power cards. I know this is a channel that has basically been built on Master Duel and all that, but, like, I'm just not overly enthused about the ladder and platinum at the moment, with the particular set of cards we have. Maybe I need to be a bit more positive, a bit more upbeat. The challenge is called Masochist. That does not mean I have to be a sad boy all the time. My body as a shield. Kind of half forgot we put that in the deck. Send monster to grave. Is this the beginning of Tearlament? Blazewing. Gemini shenanigans. Are we getting Gigaplant from the deck? Lone Fire for Lone Fire for Lone Fire for Gigaplant. If it is Gigaplant shenanigans, I'm a little curious as to how this leads. It's probably me getting, like, FTK'd completely. However, like, I like Gigaplant. He looked cool. And, the fact that Geminis can do something is pretty neat. So, you just need to be able to make a fusion and then recover a fusion material from your graveyard, and then the loop starts, to the best of my understanding. Unless Geminis play in a slightly different way. Unless you're not actually playing Gemini stuff, you're playing Black Rose. Do you not want to play, like, Gemini things? Do you not want to do, like, weird Gemini combos? I'm sure you can. Someone can lab things out there like that, right? I only just noticed that the life point total is looking a little different. I don't mind it. But yeah, where's my super alloyed Gemini dragon thing? I want to see dumb combos. You put the Blazewing Butterfly in the graveyard. Don't tell me you're not going to use it. I'd love to say things have been interesting at work, or talk about some interesting stuff that's happened over the week. But, honestly, not a lot since Monday. What is Ragweed? When your opponent draws a card, except during the draw phase, you can send draw 2. Okay. So, I think all I'm doing is Armageddon Knight. Armageddon Knight for Destrudo. Destrudo. Give it a sec. To halve. Make Yazi. Do I make Yazi? I think I make Yazi. He can't be targeted. And yeah, I can't get over the rest of the stuff anyway if I don't. So, what's the thing to clear? When a monster is destroyed by a battle involving your insect or plant, you can target one of those destroyed. So, I gotta kill this. Then, I guess main 2. Yeah, let's do it. 1, 2. And then we get a 1 from the deck. In defense position, so it's not too broken. But we can set 1, we can activate Runic Allure, we can set Cosmic Shared Ride and My Body. We can banish a whole, like, 2 cards from the top of their deck, you know? And it's a big deck. This is not exactly ideal, you know? Gold Sark. Sure. What are you banishing? Are you now doing like Necroface? Are you just changing tactic? Nope. You're just getting it in a couple turns. Alright. Okay. Just battle phase. Yeah, I mean, that'll do it, right? Right, what can we draw? Not that. Good turn. I don't know. We got 4,000 life. This doesn't feel so hot. Maybe the play was Psyframe Zeta, so I could just kind of keep it out of rotation. Blazewing Butterfly. Okay. Shared Ride also might... Well, this is a particularly unique deck, you know. It's not exactly your average thing. Supervise. Yep, I'm not letting that happen. Because that protects my life points as well. He says, I should have just banished it. I should have just banished it. Are you going to change Ragweed to attack? Because that is just lethal. No. No, they're not. Does mean I can't ever activate the Cosmic Cyclone, though. So, good on them for that. I can't activate the My Body, that's also dead. I can banish 2 cards from the top of their deck. I can do Testrudo again. Normal summon. Right. It worked so well the first time. Let's halve our life points again. Let's see. So, normal or special summon, which it is not anymore. I feel like it is just safer. Battle phase. Kill this thing. I'm quite probably still dead. The question is, would these have done anything against the more real deck? I don't know. For a real deck, probably would have put up much more of a fight going first, right? Let me just use my Cosmic Cyclone. I'm going to attribute this. Target Gemini. Yep. So in theory, here's the Gigaplant loops, right? Or at least it's what should be, but they obviously don't have access to a fusion spell just yet. Runic Galore has put in so much work. I've banished like a whole no cards. Also, even if I did banish cards from the top of their deck, I'm not actually sure they'd be on Light or Darks. Like, I'm not sure Chaos Mirage would do anything. I'm going to turn my chain off simply because, you know... I only have the Shared Ride to activate. And the Shared Ride is definitely not doing it. Not at the moment. You can Synchro Summon for 8, which is apparently what you're doing. I was going to say like 8, 10, 12. Yeah, you just need to crash. That will do it. GG's. Very atypical deck we were up against. We didn't get to go first. I guess we run it back again. Okay, once again we go second. And now we get to see just what a regular going first person probably gets up to. Got Destrudo in hand. So what would we dump? I don't know. We got 2 Runic cards though, so that's neat. We can always pitch the Destrudo. Can't recycle our Runics at the moment because we need to get to the field spell. Magician Souls. Summon this card. Are you playing Dark Magician, or are you just playing a draw package? You might be playing a draw package. You're playing Volcanic. You're playing Snake Eye. Branded Fusion. Why is it Branded Fusion? What are you doing? Okay. Like, is a big monster, okay. Sure. Why not? Another Bucket of Lunar Eclipse, alright. Right, let's just summon a Runic first. I don't get my battle phase. So, you know, there's that. We're pitching to Strudo, because that's free. Get a little... How you thinking? Send a Destruction Sword. You're also playing Buster Blader. Is that for the Synchro? That is for the Sync. Yeah, okay. Alright. This is not what I was expecting in the least. I mean, this is in defense position anyway. No, I'm alright. I'm not going to destroy it this turn anyway. I think you missed the point of what Runic could do. I can do Yazi. Have you banished a Fallen of Albaz? Dragon Effect. I'm very happy I did it this way round, I guess. Okay, banish, banish. They are playing a fucking pile. Destrudo, target this. Actually, I probably should have... Yeah, no, I think I should have summoned the Armageddon Knight. But we've done it now anyway. So this gives us Yazi. I can't destroy Destruction Sword. This is a Buster Dragon. Okay. Get myself a Chaos Mirage Dragon. They've got a Forest Banish. I've still got a normal summon. And so that allows me to make Zera. Almost your turn. Dragons. You gain 100 attack and defense. 100 attack. I can banish it though. And what can I do with this? So I can Foolish Destrudo again. The next turn. I could get the Albaz, but there's literally not a point. I think it is just maybe Angel of Zera. Or Stardust Spark Dragon. But we'll go with Angel of Zera. Big monster. Bye-bye. And set. Your move. Oh no, I needed to go to battle phase. Okay, I'm going to make that mistake a lot, aren't I? It skip your next battle phase, but you do need to go through the battle phase. Super Volley. Alright. Light Dragon, Dark Dragon, Dark Plant. Oh. Alright then. That is not a typical opponent doing typical things. I would not indicate that as a decent confirmation of win rate. I'm happy I didn't have to play against the good part of that combo, whatever it was, but, you know. Sure. We've got a 50% win rate. We'll leave the legacy tickets. We'll go for a couple master packs. So did you have Buster Blader, Albaz, Slifer on your bingo card? Because I didn't. That's Tribute Summon support. Well, that's an Infernoid. And the rest of these are dupes. It's not bad. That's actually not bad, no. We've got various Book of Moon cards, you know, we can just shuffle cards into the deck. Assuming they don't stop the Book of Moon, but then again, not many people do. Like, and okay, maybe they stop the Swords of Concealing Light, but... Oh, okay, that's nice. Gets us another copy. Whereas Disciple, which is useless at 1, so seeing that new is basically a kick in the teeth. Do we go again? Do we just give it a couple, just for giggles? Ah, why not? It's a pile of cards, what's the worst it can do? It can lose me a game, and then, like, you know, sometimes the main deck I play loses me games. Another go in second, probably. Indeed. I shall use this time to draw curtains. Oh, we got Runic Fountain. But no Runic cards. And the Field Spell Searcher. With the Field Spell. Fuck. Okay, another engine enjoyer, probably. Magician Souls. They're on a decent deck. Or at least a decent sized deck, so I would not be surprised if it isn't that Magician. Anyone have a particular favourite bad version of a deck that you know is a bad version of a deck that has some unique and funny interactions? I'm thinking along the lines of... Oh no, maybe it is Dark Magician. I'm thinking along the lines of, okay, maybe it isn't the worst version of the deck. Oh, we got a Bestial. That's very neat. It is in fact that you sent Eternal Soul to the grave. Really? Really? That doesn't count as a win for this deck. It counts as a win for the challenge. It does not count as a win for the deck. What the fucking idiot. Yeah. Yeah, you know, sometimes you just do something like that. Well, we could open some legacy tickets now, I guess. Yeah, let's open some legacy tickets. Do we just call it here? It's our first streak where we got like a 66% win rate, and we just say that, like, yep, that's the duels. Summoning Curse is a good floodgate. Neat. It's so bad. I don't think you could even use that in, like, Exodia Deep Draw decks. Right, yeah. Arrow picks 3, Clear Effector. Clear Effector is a neat card, so is Gaia Plate. Like, I guess my favourite... Yeah, we've got one more. My favourite bad version of, like, Monarchs, for example, is probably, like, Rock Monarchs. Because Grand Magas are just slightly, unfortunately, the worst one, being able to only deal with set cards, you know? Shadow Severing Strike. If cards is banished from the hand and or field, apply based on the type. To activate a monster effect, okay. Negate the effects of a spell trap, draw 2, banish monster. What do I have that banishes a card for an effect? Like, banish for cost? don't think I do. If this card is banished to activate a monster effect, you can add another banish card. I have drink still. Confusion. Neutral? What? What even? It's alright, it's not that important. Alright. Yeah, I'm not sure Shadow Severing Strike changes up the deck. We're at 2 hours and a half in. I am very tempted, just for memes, to say that, like, hey, you know what, look at this, we got a 66% win rate this stream. It has never started so well with so bad a deck. No, it probably has, actually. There's probably, like, an early stream where we kind of, like, saw bots. I don't know, though. You guys have anything you want to talk about? Aside from, like, calling it quits for because I'm, like, you know, at a 66% win rate, I am also a little tired. Like, I have been not falling asleep standing up at work today, but kind of, like, having to deliberately try and, like, zone back into a couple of tasks I've been doing. Granted, those tasks were a little, tedious, samey, you know? Like, one of them is online training courses. I'm sure everyone loves online training courses, right? And I had to do it for a few people, because our organisation does things properly, of course. I know what I could do. I could just switch to the other account and actually see what, like, shop things I have. That wouldn't be too bad. Let me do that, because that was something I'm going to do off stream anyway. I think I have the currency. So let me stop streaming the Steam game for a moment. Let's close it. Oh wait, no, I need that. I need to update the stats. Although, I've literally played 3 duels today. So... there we go. Stats are updated. Anyway, I guess I don't need that. Let's change account. Let's go to my regular account. I'm a little curious to see what the shop items are. Oh wait, I still haven't done the fucking update for that account. I'm pretty sure anyway. Let's give it a look. Yeah, I don't think there's been a time where I've sat there and I've been like, yes, I'm willing to update Master Duel for this separate account that I basically never play Master Duel on PC. I typically use my Switch for it. Got notifications. Okay, cool. Anyway, if I just quickly try and boot this up. Okay. Game start. Added an age gate. I will say, I'm happy the age gate is the bare minimum. I don't think I could, like, if they were doing a proper, like, age check thing on it, I don't think I could convince myself, yeah, that's 11 gigs. That's, like, the full update. You know, I think I might be done for the day. between being tired, I won a couple of duels with a god-awful deck. I think we'll continue with the other decks, like, during the next stream, so I'm not going to pivot back to generators soon. I will grind with whatever other decks I've constructed today. And if there's something that we feel is worth looking into, I guess... yeah, if there's something else that we feel is worth looking into, we can do like another little deck building session where we just try and see, can we get this to work? Is there something that maybe makes this viable? Because probably not for the vast majority of archetypes, but there's probably something. Also, I guess while I'm in between things, the stream coming up on Monday is going to be probably a morning stream, I think, because Bank Holiday Monday. And as such, I've got plans later in the day. So I'm pretty sure I'll be doing the morning stream on Monday. Like, it's not that the VOD will be deleted or anything like that. Yeah, so let's go back to this one. Were there any things that, like, we picked up on site recently, or that we just haven't touched, which are kind of close? That's the one that doesn't require 2 tributes. But there's ritual stuffs. We have the spell, we have the field spell. We have, I think every main deck name that matters. You're too high a level, really. You're used frequently with. Oh no, that is a related card by archetype name. We don't have Cyber Emergency. We could try fooling around with Drytron at some point. Yeah, that's the 3rd grid for the Phantasm Spiral deck. We don't have enough for Red Eyes. We definitely don't have Snake Eye. We're missing Invocation. We don't have things for Earthbound Immortal. Or rather, we do, but it's Earthbound Immortal. Which one's the better field spell? Probably this one, right? Yeah, this is by far the better field spell, so, but it is also the newer one, so there's a good reason we don't have it. That is just Harpy's Feather Duster. And, you know, it being at 1 copy means you can treat it like Harpy's Feather Duster. We could try and do something with Earthbounds, but I don't think it really works. Can you guys remember anything that was, like, interesting that we've picked up lately? Where it's like, well, actually, we've got a few cards from that. We have all of, like, a monster. Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are all structure deck. I don't know how we get them otherwise. Legacy pack. Ah, fuck. Legacy pack rare. The horror. That's gonna take us years. What does this one do anyway? If you have MST, you can special this. If a Radiant Typhoon or MST, you can special a Radiant Typhoon from deck with a different name, which would be this one. If a quick play spell is activated, you can special this. Normal special summon, you can add a Radiant Typhoon card. Cannot be destroyed while your opponent controls no spell traps. That could add a Mandate. Although this isn't doing anything. So yeah, Radiant Typhoon is far from there. Salamangreat, probably not either, right? Yeah, we got a lot of names, but no duplicates, with the exception of Eagle. Which does destroy... It's kind of Raigeki. if you use itself as material. But then from there you need like link monsters to give it effects, so that's a no. Spiral, numbers, cubics we're missing out, like Doozer and the other stuff generally for Sprite. Well, that's very few cards. That is very few. From your hand of Brave, Spanish. Okay, right. So it'd be functioning kind of as a removal spell, which is not very much. We have some gadgets we found out, right? Yeah, we have red, green, yellow. We have silver and gold. We have their boss monster. We have... then you can equip one from hand or deck. Gains attack equal to double. What's the highest attack gadget? Probably gold. Yeah, so it could become a 3400 beat. Level 4 machine gadget, they specified. Can't equip Gadget Hauler for less attack, and you can't equip Gadget Soldier for more attack. When this card is activated, target any number of gadget monsters that are equipped special, discard, add a boot up, Admiral, destroy a dynamo. So it adds the boss monster. That's searchable, that's pretty cool. That's Morphtronic support. And your Morphtronic support? Yeah. But like, we have gadget cards, I guess. We've already looked at Shadol. Did we look at Ancient Gear recently? We've got things. We've got Howitzer. We don't have a way to make the Howitzer. Which one is it? I guess it's related to you. Is it this one? That mentions Ancient Gear Golden. No, you do not mention Ancient Gear Golden. Okay, so yeah, we don't have a way to make Howitzer. Oh wait, no, we do. It's Hunting Hound. Monsters from your hand or field. But Howitzer Turbo I don't think is particularly fantastic. It's just 1,000 points. And it's a hard once per turn. Howitzer Control does not a deck make. Megaliths we're a few cards shy on, right? Like, aside from the new wave of support, yeah. We're missing old cards. We've looked at Super Heavies today, we've looked at Earthbounds, we've looked at Galaxy Eyes? I think we have. Yeah, we concluded that it's a little too gimmicky. In theory, this can get like 2 on the field, but no, basically. Hero support, Subterras. We've got a couple Subterra cards, right? Right. We have Fiendest, Guru, Final Battle, Cave Clash, No Hidden City, and a few of the behemoths. We've got Book, we've got Book, we've got Book. We've probably got more books. And then we could use like the Diabels and like the sinful, like a small sinful package just for like the Azamina cards, I guess. Oh yeah, Mech Lords. We've got 3 Grenell, but we're short on any copies of, yeah, Infinity Core. We've currently got Obligato. We've got Assembly, which will add a Mech Lord, any Mech Lord. So this represents a rank 4, because you do this into this, just use the effect, destroy itself to summon those 2, I guess. Or 2 of the Grenell, and that gets you a rank 4. But it has to be machine rank 4, which means no reader, which means you're probably just making the machine rotor, which is a lot of effort to bring out a machine rotor. Especially considering I think you can just like leave the bodies on field using this guy. Yeah, you can. And they even take a little bit of burn damage for it. Assault mode, we don't have enough. Oldgeist, I think we were close, but not quite there. Oh, right, actually, that's something I want to just check out. Silhouette Rabbit. Silhouette is just related to this because it's often paired with. Can I just use, like, my... Let's use the 7th attack on targets for a second. I just wish to have... Right. Silku. So that's going to go there. Also... Still a trap. That should filter for pretty much the continuous trap monsters in the game. 1, 2... 3, 4. Special summon. Set this. Negate the opponent's effect. Targets card. It does have to target, but it prevents against like imperm. This one makes funky Xyz. We've got that one for just like actual effects. Rank 10 plays maybe. Indestructible monster. Like, we've got some trap monster stuff going on. Continuous trap. Continuous spell. We could play a couple True Dracos, I guess. We could play some Centurion. Okay, so let's take a look at... Well, actually, yeah, let's, you know... So, 1, 2... Let's just put the copies in. We can deem what's actually playable later. Still... a trap. 1, 2... 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3... 1... I'm tempted to put in the 3 of this one, because 2 copies of it is basically any rank 4, seeing as you can change the type and attribute. Try put in a Zoma. Do we have better Zoma? We don't have better Zoma. We have Jurai. So, you know, that's something. And right, continuous trap, we were saying. Which we have this one. By your opponent's card effect, not worth it. Silhouette. Continuous trap or effect. That makes itself a continuous trap if it is destroyed in the monster zone. Set a continuous trap from your hand or graveyard to your field. Might be worth it. That's rather funny. Cargo SARS. Okay, what do we have in the way of like True Draco? We have True Draco as well, to a degree. If this card is normal, special summoned as Centurion. Also, you can't special summon this. Okay. During your opponent's turn, if this card is in your hand or grave, target Centurion, place it in your face-up spell trap zone as a continuous trap. You do special summon this card. During the main phase of this continuous trap specialist. Right. Place a Centurion from your deck in your spell trap zone as a continuous trap. You cannot special summon from the extra deck except Centurion, or you set a spell trap. Okay, so you do like this to get this. Yeah. Or send a Centurion card who controls the grave, special summon this. Okay. Are you a tuner? You're a tuner. Right. What else do we have? Why? Oh, Century Ice Prism. Centurion Bonds. Place a Centurion from your hand or grave as a continuous trap. Okay. Emblema. Banish the Centurion monster card from your spell trap zone. Target one of your opponent controls. Banish it. If this set card is under its control is destroyed or banished by an opponent's card effect, place 2 from hand, deck, or banishment. So right, we don't have the quick synchro option because we don't have the field spell. But we do have ways to get to like 8 and 12 synchro, which means we can make these cannot be destroyed by battle unless special summon from the extra deck. If synchro summoned to add an emblema, then you can destroy 2 cards, one in each field. If a Centurion card leaves the field while this card is in the graveyard, I'll buy an opponent's card, you can special summon this. Face-up cards in your spell trap zone cannot be destroyed by card effects, which does not count for the trap monsters, because they are not in the spell trap zone. They kind of like used to be. If special summoned, you can add a Centurion card. During the end phase, place a Centurion, banished or grave face-up. Which is pretty good. Of course, we've got Scylla Hat, which basically gets you your entire continuous trap lineup. You contribute continuous traps instead of monsters. When your opponent activates, you can add a True Drake or True King monster. Once per turn... Oh wait, can it add itself? It can just add itself. Once per turn, you can take a True Drake or True King continuous spell, either activate it or add it to your hand. During main phase, draw cards equal to the number of True Drake or True King card types centering the field to the grave. During the main phase, immediately tribute summon, MST. And then we've got Halve, right? Target one, destroy it. You can target another True King, destroy it, and then Halve. During the main phase, tribute summon. If sent to the graveyard, target one, destroy it, reborn, and then tribute summon. Yeah. There's possibly something with this. Like, this is not it, this is hodgepodge, but there's possibly something to it. True Draco can go second because you can just set a card and then tribute summon over it for removal. Your opponent activates a card for the removal, and you in the same chain link. When your opponent activates a card or effect while you control this. So yeah, that's the same chain link, right? Because it's a quick effect. I could also play Metal Swan 12, but anyway, that was just a thought exercise. Ignore that. We aren't playing that for some time, as much as I love Pump Princess. I am going to call it a stream there. I know I haven't done very much. I've built a couple of deck lists, played one of them for a couple of games. I'll probably change the accessories on this. 3 main cards. And yeah, I played one of them for a couple of games, which was somewhat surprising. To the results, I guess. Actually, we wanted to show the Azamina, I guess. And just general... Oh wait, no, we want this one to be a law, that one to be Azamina. And what's the last one? Fuck knows. Armageddon? Armageddon, aye. But yeah, I know I haven't done a lot. But, what hey, what ho. We've won 2 duels out of 3, which gives us a 66% win rate this stream, with the worst deck that we've ever played, that is still marginally constructed. I don't know. Hope you've all had a good one, and I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday. Again, it'll be an earlier stream, because Bank Holiday Monday. I don't know how much earlier, I just know that I've got things to do at 5 PM in the evening, so it could be from about midday until 4, or a bit before then, because I don't want to just give myself like 2 minutes to get out the door. It could be 2 streams. Who's to say? Who's to know? Anyway, hope you all have a good one. My name is Cat Monarch, and goodbye for now.